Hey guys, now MUT Gamer back here for the video. Guys, today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. First off, we have an ability limit, AP limit, when you start off Madden 22. Also, we have halftime adjustment when we go in and talking in depth and covering this. And third off, how did you not hit that subscribe button already? Make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys, down below. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So starting off right away, yes, there are halftime adjustments in MUT 22. Now, I talked about this, alluded to it a little bit about a couple weeks ago because I did see on the Steam version of this game, it did go ahead and list in the credits, in the little description, that there are halftime adjustments in MUT, which is kind of interesting. Now, starting off right away, you can see on the right-hand side there, it does say AP limit of 12, X Factor limit of 0 out of 3. So, yes, the year looks like it's going to be starting off with an AP limit at 12. Obviously, throughout the year, they will increase the AP limit like they did this year. So that's not too big of a deal because a lot of times starting off the year, a lot of abilities are a lot less ability points than they are when the season actually ends and the game ends. So like ability might start off at 3 ability points, and as it becomes more and more OP at the end of Madden, like let's say, you know, in July, that might be like 7 or 8 ability points. So that's not too crazy. But at the same time, though, definitely 12 is it's a decent number, I will say. Could have been a lot worse, so I'm gonna, you know, stick to being happy with having 12 ability points day one. So what does halftime adjustments mean? How do they work? All that kind of good stuff. So start off right away by breaking this down in the right hand corner. In the right hand corner, there is a 1-minute shot clock, and what that means is at halftime you have 1 minute to change up your X factors. Now these are players that you already have in your lineup that are X factors or have abilities prior to the game. So what that means is you cannot add X factors or abilities to cards in game. These have to be already in your lineup on these cards before the game does start. So starting off right away, for example, on this picture, they have Tom Brady and they have Patrick Mahomes, both of them with X Factor abilities, both of them with abilities. And then of course, once you go in the game, that's when you go ahead and get to the point of, you know, being able to switch out. Now, this does kind of beg the new question here is, should you have backups in your lineup that have abilities and X Factors that you might not be using just in case you need to go ahead and do this? And to be honest, 100% yes. Now you want to get one chance of doing this a game, so it's not like you can do this back and forth throughout the game. It's not like you can go ahead and have like a quarterback controversy where you have one guy in, the next guy comes in, next guy comes in. Like, no, this is strictly just, as you guys can see on the screen, one quarterback, halftime. You can change out that quarterback for another quarterback, activate him, put X factors on him, you know, that kind of good stuff. And the same applies for any single position. So right here it does say offense. It looks like you might have a shot clock on 1 minute on each side of the ball. So maybe you have a 1 minute of a shot clock on offense where you can go ahead and activate other X factors, activate other abilities, obviously taking off some players, maybe keeping some players, right? And then you probably have another minute for defense, and then you go ahead and go right back into the game and play the game. So I'm going to guess that both sides of the ball, both opponents have this opportunity. As you guys see in the very bottom, it does say hold to skip adjustments, hold X to skip defense adjustments, and it says lock changes. So I'm going to guess what happens is once you lock changes, it probably takes you to the defense side of the ball, and then you do go ahead and do the same concept for defense, and they probably wait for your opponent. Now, this is a 2-minute, you know, extra added to the game, which to be honest, I really don't have an issue with. I know some people are gonna be like, you're gonna add 2 minutes extra to the game. You know, there's gonna be someone who's losing a game and just literally sits there for the 2 minutes just to, you know, be that guy. And there definitely will be. You'll be destroying someone and they just sit there for 2 minutes. It's the same concept when people pause the game and, you know, try to wait out the whole entire pause because of the fact that they're losing the game. But I really think this is cool. I really think this is a cool concept. I think this really puts more into building your team. I mean, it's more in depth than we've ever seen, especially when it comes to MUT, where now when you're building your team, you might have 2 quarterbacks. You might have another wide receiver. And let's say, for example, you're in a game, right? and you have a really big shootout in that game, right? Well, you might want to go ahead and maybe put a return man on one of your receivers because, you know, we'll say, for example, you just have that Devin Hester in you and you want to return the ball. No, on a real note, though, you might say, hey, special teams is going to be the game changer in this game, right? This is going to change the game having special teams go my way. So you might put return man on the guy. You might put anything on someone just so you can go ahead, let's say throughout the game, you know, he's locking you down on that outside plays, right? Well, you might have a guy on your depth chart now with, you know, maybe outside the numbers, and then bam, you easier catches. He's showing you now you have an ability on that guy. Again, like I said, you have to have these preloaded in the game before you go into the game. But that's, again, like I said, that's part of creating your depth chart where you might have abilities on all your players, X Factor abilities on all your players. You just don't activate them until you're in game, and maybe at halftime you need to go ahead and get an extra little charge to be able to actually go ahead and win the game. So I like it. I definitely love this change, and I will say that this probably will be one of the best changes of MUT 22. EA's doing pretty good, man. EA's doing pretty good, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.